It appears this is going to drag into training camp, maybe even next season. All right, Chris Broussard, do you think Durant's going to start the year in Brooklyn?
Yes. I've been saying that. You guys aren't listening to me. I'm not saying it's 100%, but where's he going? We see teams dropping every day. Phoenix is out. Miami is out. Toronto is out. What's the deal to be made? Now, this Boston thing, if they want to give up Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and if I'm the Nets, I'm demanding Robert Williams III as well, and 3 first-round picks. If they want to give up some type of deal like that, then maybe it happens. But outside of that, guys, where in the world is he going? All right, and I also, and the Nets firmly believe this, that KD is not going to not show up for training camp. KD loves basketball, and let's face it, he's been limited the last 3 years. He's played 90 games in 3 years. He was upset about Kyrie not getting the long-term extension. Well, Kyrie's going to be there, and Kyrie's going to need to play well, and he's going to need to win to some degree to get the bag he wants the following season. All right, they've done a nice job this summer. KD was also upset about his friend, personal trainer, shooting coach being let go by the team. He'll get over these things. All right, I think that the likeliest scenario, Rick, is that he is back with Brooklyn because there just aren't the deals out there worth a superstar like Kevin Durant, who's got 4 years left on his deal, who's not going to sit out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he starts the season in Brooklyn.
I do not expect him to start the season in Brooklyn, and the fact that nothing's going on right now doesn't make me believe otherwise. Look, this is generally the dead period. If there is a dead period with the NBA these days, this is it. We're 6-7 weeks out from training camp. It doesn't mean that they can't get something done before they go into training camp. And let's be honest. Look, the Brooklyn Nets don't want to drag all of this drama into yet another season. And just because you have teams saying, we're out, doesn't mean they can't say, we're back in. This isn't Shark Tank. You get more than one shot.
Yeah.
The problem right now is, Nick,
Love Shark Tank.
that the Nets, because of the Rudy Gobert deal, are asking for the sun, the moon, and a couple of stars. Well, they can ask all they want. The teams around, and there are teams that are interested, and there are teams that can make deals. Some of them we haven't heard of just yet. Boston suddenly bubbled up out of nowhere. There are other teams that are capable of trading multiple all-star type players and picks and getting Kevin Durant and being better as a result. So, but they're not going to make their offers now because Brooklyn is asking for everything. They're going to wait until there's a little more pressure on Brooklyn not to want to start the season with KD and Kyrie and Ben Simmons, and where they're going to maybe come off a little bit, or at least find out if they're going to come off of what they are asking for. So I don't see the Brooklyn Nets wanting to mess up yet another season by having this drag into it.
Of course, Rick. And during the commercial break earlier, Wild said if he were a GM, he'd be the GM that calls teams and offers trades, and then the teams are like, we're not allowed to do that. That literally is against the rules. And Wild's like, that's your problem. If Brew was a GM, he would be the guy that calls teams and says, I want 400 cents on the dollar and not a penny less. And they'd say, okay, well, we're hanging up the phone. I'm telling you right now, Brew, the Celtics are not trading Jaylen, Marcus, and Robert Williams. They wouldn't trade that with no picks. And I know then I'm not making the move. Okay, that's fine. But the move's going to be made. Now, am I certain the move is happening before game 1? No, I mean, James Harden was traded after game 7. He was traded very early, but he'd play a few games for the Rockets. But I want to ask you a direct question, Brew. Brew, I understand that. I want to ask you a direct question. You have been very firm. You believe Kevin Durant is starting the season in Brooklyn. Do you believe he is finishing the season in Brooklyn?
I am not as convinced of that as I am that he starts it there, but I do think there's a good chance. And look, and you're going to laugh, you're going to mock. I'm not saying they're winning the East, all right? But what if they start
next year Nets
8-3?
Next year Nets.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but then it's not next year anymore. The problem is once the year starts, it's not next year anymore.
The talent is unquestioned. All right, and if they go out there and they get off to a good start and they're playing well, I think this dissipates, and he probably does finish the season with the Knicks.
Last year they started the season as the 1 seed.
Is Kyrie there too?
They were the 1 seed at Christmas, and the season ended with them winning 0 playoff games. So I'm not that interested in how it starts.
It was a special circumstance. It was a special you know that it was a special circumstance.
Head on right, and Ben Simmons' back is going to be fixed, and Kevin Durant. It's so weird because it's like
it's like
you're debating with yourself. You're like, well, Kevin Durant's only played 90 games in 3 years, and no one wants Kyrie Irving, and you can't trust Ben Simmons. But if they're all together on my beloved Nets, look out. Look out, America. It's just nonsense. And everybody knows it's nonsense.
Can I jump in quickly before Wilds goes? Wilds, you know where all this stems from. Nick is so desperate to get Kyrie Irving to the Lakers that is why he is standing on this Durant will be traded. Because obviously if Durant's traded, I don't need to keep Kyrie. So that's what this is all about. It's looming underneath everything. I got to get Kyrie to the Lakers.
This is where I lose my mind. This is where I lose my mind. Because you know where this is all coming from and stemming from? Kevin Durant demanding a trade. It is not on the bottom line. Nick Wright reporting it's all hell's breaking loose in Brooklyn. No, Kevin Durant demanded a trade. That is what happened. That has still happened, and every report.
Wiggins only has 1 year left on his deal. We gave Steph the extension when he had 1 year left on his deal. We did it with Wiggins. You know that's how we do business. You've got 2 years left. So let's go out, win another ring, and then when you have 1 year left, we will talk about the extension with you. And so that's a way I think they can maneuver around it. And Wilds, the last thing I say about Draymond, most of his outbursts, Nick, that have caused problems with the Warriors, they're kind of emotional and impulsive. I don't know if he might, but I don't know that he's going to calculate, let me go ahead and disrupt this and really think about doing it purposely. I think if it happens, it'll be an emotional thing, an outburst, a spur of the moment thing. So I think they should be okay, Wilds, without giving him this extension this season or heading into this season.
Okay, so if I was Draymond and you were telling me why you needed to sign Andrew Wiggins and not me, I'd politely respond with this. Why did Andrew Wiggins take such a huge jump this year? Oh, it's the Warriors culture, right? Well, guess who's the heart of the Warriors culture? This guy. You want to see tape of me telling Andrew Wiggins to shoot the ball? When he's got low self-esteem, I'm bringing him right back up on the court. When I'm giving him a little bit of extra, when I'm telling him where to go on the court, I am one of the reasons, not all of the reasons, but I am one of the reasons, Rick, that Andrew Wiggins got so good. So the question I have for you is this, Rick. In the age of advanced analytics, where everybody tries to put a number on people's production, and Draymond's stuff is like playoffs, top 4 offense when he's on the court, bottom 5 when he's off the court, number 1 defense in the regular season when he's on the court, still top 4, but obviously number 1 when he's on. How do you think the Golden State front office is going to measure and put a price tag on all these things that are tough to measure in analytics? Like, oh, guess who called the players-only meeting? Guess who called the scrimmage? It's Draymond organizing it all. How do you think they put a price tag on that?
Well, they know. And the price tag is, do we win another championship? And I'm glad you brought this up, Wilds, because Draymond Green, I hear this all the time. Like, people look at his numbers. Like, he can't be a max contract guy. Look at his numbers. Draymond Green is a guy who gets other people's numbers and develops an Andrew Wiggins. And you can't replace this idea that you replace Draymond Green with Andrew Wiggins or Jonathan Kuminga. Just stop it. Neither one of those guys has the ability to work with Steph Curry and to get him the ball when he needs it off the ball the way that Draymond Green does. Same goes with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. And then defensively, he's obviously the backbone to this team. That's why I need a year of discovery. That's why I need to find out where are we at the end of next season. If we win a second consecutive title and we're going for a three-peat, then I can see where I'm going to try to construct a deal that I'm going to take care of Draymond. But to Broussard's point,